Hey everybody, it's Steve Lennon, and today I'm going to show you how to use Outplay, this platform here, to set up a series of sequences that allow for you to engage with a real estate prospect, a client who is looking for a home, and perhaps even to people who want to sell their homes. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how this works on the sequences for this platform. What you do is you basically tab over to this little section over here on the left side, and it's called Sequences, the airplane. Click on that. It's going to open up this set here, okay? There's not going to be anything in here. There may be some test ones in the beginning, just some ones to look at. But what you want to do is you want to click over here and you want to click on Create a Sequence. It's going to open up a tab here, and it's going to have this interface right here. This interface will start out with day one, which is an automated sequence, and you can see where it says automated email. Emails are triggered automatically, and then you have one that says manual, where you can manually set it and push it out depending on the actions that are going on. So I'm going to go ahead with automated on this one, the first one, and I'm going to set up a specific time, and I'm going to put the time in here, and I can go ahead and put the time. I can go up and down on that, and I can go here, click on this, and I can go AM, PM, that kind of thing, and then you can set up your start your sequence. You're going to hit enter here or next. I already have it set up, so I'm going to go out of here and I'm going to go into my sequence already. So let's go to sequences. Let me go to this one that I created, and I'm going to walk you through what I did. So you can see I have steps of sequences here. The first one is step 1, and then you have step 2, and then you have step 3, and then step 4 in this particular sequence. And if you notice in step 1, I have what's called an A1 and a B1. That's called split testing. So I have two variations of the first email, and I can actually send out and split up the variations to see which one's getting the best result. And then I just, if one gets better than the other one, I can just remove the one that doesn't, or I can turn it off, and it will only send out the one that I like that's getting the better results. Okay, so that's how sequences work. So let's go ahead and go in and go ahead and check out the sequence that I created. Now, previously I showed you how to start a sequence, that little square that was up in this section in the previous portion. Well, what happened was I chose one that was like this. And when I opened it up, I was able to put the header subject line in, okay? And I was able to create a body paragraph and put that in. And then I was able to use these particular elements down here to embed certain things into it. So for example, this highlight here, this yellow highlight, all I have to do is just highlight right here and then select the button here and it will make it yellow. Okay. This one here, if I want to make it bold, all I have to do is highlight like you see here and select the bold and perhaps the italics. Okay. If I want to do an underscore here, all I have to do is highlight the area, the section, come back over here and hit underscore, and so on and so forth. So you can do buttons, you can do all kinds of cool stuff in here. So if you want to add into it the ability for someone to schedule a meeting, something like that, I can go open like this. I can open up the space here, and then I can go over here to where it says calendar, and I can actually check this here, and I can schedule the timeline that I want to do it, and I can click it, and it will drop it in. So now what happens is someone can book a meeting with me if they want. See? And that way it will go into an automated booking solution, which is built into this particular platform, and it will also tie into your Google Calendar and other things in the future. Okay, so that's how that one works. So let's go ahead and I want to show you what it looks like. You can open up this section here, and it will actually give you a preview right here of what you're actually doing right here. So what it does two things. It brings in the body paragraph here. Okay, the second part is it brings in over here this section here from here down is in your setup over on the other side, which I'll show you down the road here. If you should have through another video have learned that, but we can show you some other time. But it's preset when you set up your profile, and it pushes it in. So whatever you put in there gets dropped in. Okay, and makes it real easy for you. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Now I've saved it, and now I'm going to go ahead and go to the second one because I wanted to create a variation of the first one to the second one. So I just went in and created a second one. Now the way you create a second one is you go over here and you add a step. I'm sorry, there's a plus symbol right here. When you create one within this step one, you use the little blue symbol here, this little blue button, and it will open up another sequence that you can add a second one as a second version, like I talked about earlier, and that will open that up. And I created a different version with a little different headline and a little bit different look in here and changed some wording around a little bit. And then I checked it, and then I saved it. Okay. Now let's go to step 2. So step 2, the way you get to step 2 is you have to start a new sequence. So I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to go into here. It's going to go ahead and open it up, and then what I'm going to do is, in order for me to create a new sequence, I just have to go and add a new step. Now, if I add a step, I already created step 2, so it's already been added. So if I was down here and I want to create step 8, there's step 7 here, I want to create step 8, then all I would do is just go in here and hit the step, and it would bring in step 8. Okay, so let's go back to step 2 here. So here's step 2. I'm just going to go ahead and open it up, and I'm going to show you what I did. So I added a second sequence here, and I added their first name and hey, the name of the person. I added a second piece that talks about it and get a meeting with me, that kind of thing. And I can go ahead and preview it. There's a preview. Now you'll notice that it's not yellowed out in the preview right here, but it will when it hits the email goes out to somebody, it will be yellowed out, especially if they're in if they get it in Gmail, that kind of thing. So, but that's how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. And then we're going to go to step 3, and step 3 was a little bit different. And step 1 and 2 were emails. Step 3 happens to be a call. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and I'm going to open up what I put in for the call. Oh, right here. You have to, once you create it, by the way, you have to see that little arrow right here, this little arrow right in this section here. Click on it and click at it. Okay, it will open it up, and then you'll see what you would put in here. If you whatever's highlighted, if this one's highlighted, it means you're working on this one. If this one's highlighted, you're working on this one, so forth. This one's SMS down here. So I had created a phone or an SMS right here. So I click on SMS. Actually, it was a phone call. I created a phone call here. So I selected the phone, and then I said it created a notice that will pop up to me in the system that says on a task for that given day. When it triggers on day 5, it will say, hey, call this person. It'll give me the phone number. All I have to do is click on the number and make the call through the system. It's that simple. Okay, and then I just have a little reminder here, Do they want to have concierge service and tips on home searching? And do they need to get pre-qualified for a mortgage? So that's just to remind myself of what the discussion is I want to talk about. And then go ahead and save it. So you did that, all right? And then that was a call. Then the next one happened to be right here, and this was an SMS text message. So let's go ahead and hit the drop down the arrow. Let's go ahead and edit it and look at it. In this one, I put the name of the person right here. And then what I did in there is I also added the, notice how this is the highlight here, the SMS text messaging. And then I put a little quip here, comment here, make it short and simple. And then I gave it automatically created the 7th day, and you can adjust that if you needed to. And then I set up a specific time. I did this one in the afternoon at 5 o'clock because most people are done with their day by 5. They might be driving home, they get a text that comes over to them, and they're more inclined to want to just read the text real quick, that kind of thing. So 5 or 6 or something like that. So I saved that. All right, so the next thing. So I went to day 9 here, there's step 5, and in step 5, if we look at it, it's an email. The red shows an email. And I'm going to go ahead and open it up and edit it and take a look at it. And if you look at the email here, automated email is ready to be triggered, and I'm going to send it out at that time. And so I have it, timing matters, and I have an email in here that I set up that's already been triggered. So must have at least one variant. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's the email. I clicked on the email. Let me show you what I did here. I clicked on this, it opened up the email, and then I can go ahead and make any adjustments to the email or, keep it simple. All right. So I created that email. I want to go take a look at how it looks when it's coming over. Looks like that. That's fine. Now I'm going to save it. So let's go to the next one. The last one is, get rid of that. Down here on day 13, I think actually email, and then we have another SMS text message. So on this one here, I'm going to open that up, and I have to hit this little arrow. Do one of two things. Either open this, click it here, and if it opens up, great. If it doesn't, just click right here and select edit. And it will open up the body, and then you can make your adjustments there. Okay. So I made a short little quip. Hey, you want to get back with me, that kind of thing. All right. So I did that, and I set the time. And then the last one was this one down here on day on whatever day 13 here. And if I click on it, it didn't open up. So that means that I have to. If it's a call, then I have to hit the edit button here. It will open up, and then is there another reminder for me to call that person to engage with them. and put whatever you want in there with their information, with their phone number, and that way it's easy for you to just click on it and do it. Because through the system, you'll be able to click on the number, it will automatically start dialing through the system with your headset on or whatever, and then you can go ahead and make a call. It's as simple as that. I love this thing. This is fantastic. Now the next step is once it's all done and you have your sequences, if you notice up here you have prospects, you have emails, calls, stats, and settings. So let's go ahead and go to prospects. Prospects is a section where you want to upload your prospects. So if you have a list of clients, you want to do one of two things. You want to import your prospect or export your prospects for other things. You can import your prospects by clicking on here. It's just like a CSV or an Excel spreadsheet that you would upload, and then you would push them into here. Okay, it's as simple as that, as far as that goes. All right, and then the next thing is emails. So we'll go to the emails. Right here is where you can upload emails as well. Are you going to? I'm sorry. In this one, you're going to actually have through the prospects. You'll upload emails and phone numbers and that kind of stuff, right, through the spreadsheet. And then emails is just how many emails, what the count was. Calls was how many calls were made. Stats were the total stats on everything. Okay, and then settings, I would leave settings alone for now. Just leave it in the current format until you become a master at it, because it's purposely set up for you to start your engagement. And that's how this particular system works as far as sequences, and you can do it in any way you want. It works fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial, and I'm sure I'll be bringing you more. Take care.